Hi guys, it's been wait, and I was trying to get a convincing guest for my next episode. I wanted to do it on something on the lines of pricing, and I think I have found the right person, Bruno, who is from Brazil. Very thankful to him for really obliging my request and trying to participate in this discussion. It's going to be short. Maybe we might not do justice to this entire topic, but here is Bruno. Bruno, thank you so much for being part of this discussion. Just if you could give a two-liner, what you do, where you are from, to our audience, that would be great for us.
Oh, thank you, Girish, to bring me here. I'm really honored to be part of your journey. And well, just a simple explanation of what I do. In the past 8 years, I have been working as a pricing consultant, and lately I've been worked closely with SaaS founders, especially early stage founders, to help them price better. And what that does that mean? What I found that usually founders tend to take their best guess into pricing, and this sometimes it's their best alternative to the best of their knowledge, but there are better alternatives. There are database alternatives that can be more valuable to the business and to the SaaS founders themselves. So that's my journey. That's my goal, to empower these SaaS founders to extract better value and communicate better value to their clients and users.
Got it. So I'll start with my first question. What price actually means? What is a price? So what exactly price means?
Well, depending on the angle as that you look at price can mean a lot of different things. In the numerical part, it's just a number, right? It's just a number that somebody pays the other person so that he can receive the service or the product. But in fact, price is much more than that. Price is also a way of trying to describe to the person who's acquiring that service or product what value is intrinsic to that product. Because when we look at marketing, we know that we have to build a product, we have to place it somewhere, we have to promote it, but eventually the only measure of what does that product or service is worth is the price. And that's why pricing is so hard, because in one or two numbers, you have to describe what's going on then. What's the expectation of the user or the client should be regarding that product or service. So this is something that is really hard to achieve, because you're not just communicating through all the features you show to the user, but also with the number. Whenever you see a low price compared to what you expect the price to be, you already have some kind of decision on what to expect from that product. You expect that to be either simple or maybe something that isn't differentiated. Whereas if you go with a higher price, you have higher expectations of that. You expect higher quality, higher customer support. You expect it to be flawless. So it's a tough decision, and sometimes people don't understand that price is nothing more than a decision process of trying to communicate part of your company or product strategy through a number. But price is not just a number. Price is not just what is being communicated by the value, but also all the processes that are related to that number. So discounts, this is price as well. Also, if that price is going to be shown where and when, if that price is going to be negotiated somehow, what users might need to do to get such a price, if the price is unique, if the price is reputable, if the price is based on by users, by some kind of usage, if this is a fixed price, if it varies somehow. So all of those decisions need to be taken by usually the SaaS founder, so that all his strategy is aligned and communicated in the best way to the user. So that's why this is so challenging.
Okay, so you could tell, like, you could really know with the pricing what value it can provide, how the company really matters, how they really talk to their customers, what they're expecting out of this actual offering as a pricing tier for the product, and how really the customer should expect the kind of responses they want to get. So there are a lot of things hidden under the price actual hood and how they mention it. So what is the right way in which you approach pricing, and then under the hood you could offer all these services or whatever value addition? What is the right template, or what is the right way for that? If you can explain it in just very brief 2 to 3 sentences, that would be interesting.
Yeah. The first thing is that price isn't supposed to be evaluated individually. This should be part of something else. Price should be viewed in conjunction with all of the other things that a company wants to achieve. Second thing is that price should not be looked into only the internal perspective, but also in the environment that the company or product is inserted. So what's that environment? That's internal, of course, but that's the competition and also the user. So all of that has to be taken into consideration. Third, price is something that it's not fixed. You just don't define price and never look back. You should always revisit. And depending on your market, that should happen daily, sometimes just yearly, depending on the market. So this are 3 things that every founder should know about pricing.
Okay. So are there any relevant steps what an individual has to take once he sits for pricing? Is there any factors, like he will be having different departments, because this is the source of income for any company, right? Like how they price, they have to pay the salaries, they have to really meet the costs, they have bills to pay, there are other apps where they use and everything. So how do they take into account everything and then arrive at a number per month or per year or license based? How should they categorize under each sections of, say, like it's subscription or license oriented or yearly kind of payment? So how do they do that by taking into account of all the other various departments they have?
First, there's a distinction of what price should cover and what it shouldn't, and that this distinction is born into how we separate costs. So there are fixed costs, there are direct costs, there are variable costs. Generally, price should cover all the costs that are related directly to the service or the product that's being delivered. So if we're talking about the cost to develop a product or the cost to market, there are 2 different visions to it. So yes, you should cover the cost to market of a product, but price should not cover the cost, I'm sorry, to develop that product, because development is like an investment we're doing into the value of the product. The marketing, no, the marketing is a direct cost associated with that sale. So that's some distinction that needs to be made. Second, price is also a tool that tries to align the best interest of the company with the best interest of the user or the client. So what would be the best way that I could price my product so that the user can extract the best value they can? And at the same time, there's a win-win situation here, where whenever the user is benefiting more, I earn more. I'm delivering more value, so I extract more value. So this is something that is kind of tricky, because you have to really think about your customer. You have to talk to him. So this is one thing that is completely aligned with customer development, because if you don't know what your user values, then you are not able to decide on such a thing, because you don't know what they value, what they are looking for, what are the alternatives they're considering. If you don't know that, it's so much difficult to come up with a decision. And price is a decision, or a series of decisions.
Yeah, it's a topic which requires really good time also to discuss. But yes, on a high level, I did understand what you really want to mention there. Thank you for that. So are there any references or books where a person can start with to understand this entire pricing? Because what we are talking is more with respect to a SaaS or a MicroSaaS product always being priced, and online products, digital products, which are going to be priced. So are there any starting points or books what you would suggest to the audience which they could refer or connect with?
Mm-hmm. I have 4 different references to give to your audience. And the first one is follow me on Twitter. I'm dedicated to writing about that. I know this is a really broad topic, and we have to distill it the best way we can. And after, I can give your audience my handle. And second, there are 2 books that I think they are foundational for SaaS founders regarding pricing. The first one is Monetizing Innovation. The second one is Street Pricing. It's a book that it's directed to the SaaS founders that want to operate in a B2B environment, but I think it's one of the books that is more straight to the point of what users need. Founders need to look into. And fourth, I think the best person or the best organization that speaks about pricing to SaaS in general, that you can find a lot of value, is from PC. His handle on Twitter is Paticus, and he has extensive information about that. And he has started more than a decade before I did, publishing on online. So he has a lot of different resources as well that you could check.
Yeah, Patrick Campbell, he's good. I mean, like he sold his Profit Well company to Paddle recently, and right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's your suggestion. And before we wind up, 2 last questions. Like, who is the best company out there who is doing the right things now in terms of pricing, product, and also trying to give value and grow the business, who have bootstrapped, and who do you think are really doing well?
Well, there are companies that I would bring 2 different companies, but they are really big, and we sometimes forget what they're doing. The first one is Google. Google makes a phenomenal pricing strategy implementation, because pricing is intrinsic to their business, but nobody even thinks about that. So they're doing a phenomenal job at this. So every product they have, every ad they show, we just go with what they're using. We buy their products without even thinking about that. So this is so seamless that it's a phenomenal job. The second one, and that one is a different story, because even though we discuss that prices, sometimes we tend to think more about that, is Apple. And why is that? Because Apple decided to be positioned as premium, and that is a thoughtful way of positioning, because they decide which users they're going, or which clients they're going to serve. They decided to be not for everyone, but because of that, they are able to have such a distinction from the competition, both in value delivery, both as the way that their users or their customers look at them. That is something that is perfect. I would say that they are really executing their strategy perfectly.
Got it. So before we close, I know we need to really do an extensive discussion, if you allow me next time. Would you be the person who would create a product with subscription option, or would you be doing something like license based or yearly based kind of?
Well, I'm a consultant. I have to answer depends. It depends. But you should know what to look. So are you looking into building a long relationship with your user? If the answer is yes, then you want to provide value continuously and incrementally. So go with the subscription, because there's a hidden contract there, and the body says that, but everybody understands that. When you go with a subscription, the user expects some increment in the delivery of value, and eventually that bill is going to have to be paid. So that's when there is a raise in the prices, and everybody understands that. But if you're creating something that is going to give a lot of value, but you don't want to establish a long-term relationship, and that is going to be maybe not continuously, but once in a while, it's going to be improved, like a patch or something like another product or an add-on, then go with the one-time payment, because either of you, the client and the founder or the creator, don't need to try to create a relationship that is not beneficial for any of the parts. Sometimes it's a side time creator that's just building a product to see how that goes, and there's a lot of people that are interested, but at the same time he doesn't want to ditch the main thing that's he's working. So if this is something that you expect to work just once in a while, and the value isn't delivered every day, so I suggest you consider strongly the pay once in a lifetime approach.
Yeah, that's well put, Bruno. Really well put. I mean, like that's a good answer. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for really giving us insightful information. I pretty much would love to do another discussion in depth with an example which pretty much could explain the entire strategy. And I would definitely tell the audience to follow you on Twitter, and they definitely would be needing someone like you to guide them. And hope we can do this again. And thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. I'm really humbled to be here, and well, follow me on Twitter. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys, and until next time, keep following interesting founders and creators and advisors and consultants and mentors in SaaS and MicroSaaS, and keep building. Thank you so much.